Welcome to Fluent with Stories, where English isn't just learned, it's felt. Today's story is about love, silence, and the bond between a father and daughter, broken by pride, healed by memory. Stay till the end for grammar and vocabulary questions to sharpen your English through this emotional journey.
Lena had always believed she had time. Time to forgive, time to speak, time to return. But sometimes, time runs out quietly, without warning, without sound. It had been 7 years since she last spoke to her father. Not since that winter night, the one where silence had become a punishment neither of them knew how to break. Now, standing at the edge of her childhood home, suitcase in hand, Lena felt her legs tremble. She wasn't sure if it was the cold or guilt. Lena was 21 back then, brilliant, stubborn, filled with fire. Her mother had died when she was 12, and her father, a quiet man named Thomas, raised her alone. He wasn't perfect. He didn't know how to talk about emotions, but he tried in his own way. Quiet dinners, checking her bike tires, sitting silently in her recitals, clapping with the same pride every time. But Lena wanted more. She wanted words, affection, conversations. A father who understood her dreams of becoming a writer instead of pushing her toward a stable career. "Poetry won't pay the bills, Lena," he said one evening. "And your silence won't raise a daughter," she snapped back. That night, she packed her things. She thought it was temporary, a few days at a friend's, a cool-off period. But days turned into months, and months into years. Neither called, neither wrote. They just waited. One rainy Tuesday, Lena received a letter, but not from her father. It was from a neighbor. "Lena, I thought you should know. Your father had a fall. He's in the hospital. He keeps asking for you but refuses to say it aloud. I think he's scared." Her heart dropped. She booked the earliest flight home. Regret tightened around her like a noose. She imagined walking into the hospital, him turning his head, their eyes meeting, and all the silence collapsing like glass. But fate had its own plan. By the time she arrived, Thomas was gone. The silence that stayed. The house was too clean, as if he expected visitors, maybe even her. In his study, Lena found things she hadn't seen since she was a child. Her baby shoes, a poem she wrote at 12, a photo of them at the beach, taped to the inside of his closet. And then she saw the journal. Not hers, his. Inside were pages of thoughts, written to her, years of them. "Today, you turned 23. I left a card in the mailbox. Don't know if you saw it. Watch the moon tonight. You always said it looked like a broken coin. Still makes me laugh. I heard your first book got published. I'm proud. I wish I had said that more." Each page broke her. He had tried. Not with phone calls. Not with grand gestures. But in the only language he knew. Quiet love, written thoughts. Tucked in the last page was a sealed envelope. Her name written in neat, careful strokes. "Lena. If you're reading this, it means I didn't get to say it in person. I wasn't good at words. I feared I'd say the wrong thing, like I often did. But you must know, my silence was never absence. It was a flawed man's way of protecting what he loved the most. You didn't need to be anyone else. You were always enough. I'm sorry I never said it. But I never stopped loving you. Dad." Lena held the letter to her chest and wept for everything unsaid. The apology that came late. That night she sat at her father's old desk. She lit a candle, opened her notebook, and wrote her first poem in months. "You were never made of silence, only the quiet strength I misunderstood." She titled it, "The Silent Apology." not from him, from her. Moral of the story: not all apologies are spoken aloud. Some are written in memories, some in regrets, and some in pages left behind. But if you still have the chance, say the words before silence becomes all that's left.
If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment, and share it with someone who needs it. And now, let's test what you learned.